Good morning, doctorate students. Yes, it's always morning in my world. Today we're going to cover Scopus. Remember again to always come to the library webpage because you're off campus. If you go straight to Scopus, either as a bookmark or through your browser, you may not get to it. You can find Scopus currently on the main page. Here it is, and we'll click Scopus. Now, here's a warning. Scopus has a tendency to be down. And so if you get this message, and I just jinxed myself, if you get this message, don't worry, close that, go back to the library page and try again. If you continue to get that message, do a different search. We'll be right back. All right, so I finally got us to Scopus. It still might be a little tricky, but that's okay. If you created an account while you were here on campus, you can log in at the top to make sure that if you find something of relevance to you, you'll be able to save it and use it. I will not log in right now. On Scopus, they do a very easy search for you. Always go to the search bar. This is your search bar. No need to change this. It's always going to search your article, your abstract, and keywords. So again, let's look at qualitative data because many of you might be doing that kind of project, or an integrative review. Let's look at systematic reviews. Systematic reviews. In Scopus, I will tell you there is no drop-down box, as you see, and you do need to be able to spell things correctly. Remember, just like in any search in any other database, you're going to do it one word at a time until you get very familiar and comfortable with that database. And we'll click search. And we now see that they have found over 100,000 different systematic reviews. So let's pick a topic. And our topic today is going to be on diabetes screening. Diabetes screening. I'm using this box because this box said search within these results. And so we will see if there are any systematic reviews on diabetes screening, and click search. Oh, there are quite a few. Now, if you need to limit the search more, in which you probably will want to, let's look at some of the features that Scopus offers. You can limit it by the year. Sometimes it's necessary, sometimes it's not. It depends on how old or how far back you're interested in going. You also can limit it by the document type. Review articles, conference papers, short surveys, editorials. And then of course there's keyword and country affiliation, meaning that if you're looking for information specific to any country or region, you would click here and it will tell you all the different countries or regions articles are coming from. And so if you want the Western world, you can choose those countries. If you're looking for things from the developing world or the rest of the international world, you can choose them based on what kind of articles are here. Today we won't choose any. I just wanted to make sure you got to see that you can do country-specific searches inside of Scopus. Let's go to keyword. Now, keyword is another wonderful place to go because these are the keywords from each of the articles. And so we want human, we want humans, we're looking for systematic reviews. It can be diabetes mellitus. Male or female, is that okay? We do want just adults. Anything else of interest in this search? Nope, not pregnancy, not quality of life. And then we'll hit, if you're not seeing anything, you can always hit view more, and it really gets you an extremely long list of information. However, it does tell you which articles are which keywords, how many articles are attached to that keyword. And so that can be very helpful so that you know how good the search is. We'll click on diabetes again because sometimes capitalizing and lowercasing does change the search. So I think we've gotten everything related to diabetes and adults. We won't break down ages. We do want mass screening test, and let's see, might pick medical literature. That might be another way in which they have broken it down. We don't need necessarily meta-analysis. And so you just keep going through and reading and reading and reading to make sure that you're not missing anything. And so for these things, we'll go ahead and click Limit To. You can also choose to exclude. For instance, I might go back because I definitely don't want animals or animal searches in my search. I might go back and exclude animals just to make sure that we're only including humans and human studies in this search. And we're waiting on Scopus, and there we go. So it dropped it down a few more, and then it's still rolling. So we will just peruse these titles. Now, once you have enough articles that you're feeling comfortable with, and things have popped up. Okay, thank you. Let's go back to view more, because I do want to rid our studies of animals, just in case any animal studies have been done. And since that is moving slowly, maybe not. Might not be a good time to do that. The very top of the page, just to give you a walkthrough, shows you exactly how the computer or the algorithm has understood your search in terms of title, abstract, and keywords. You'll notice, let's see, choosing this button selects the page results, which means that you can also now choose Show All Abstracts. And that way you can also read your title and abstract at the same time. Keeping in mind that abstracts don't necessarily cover everything that is in the paper, and that you may need to go actually into the paper to read it to see if it was any good or not. One thing that's nice about Scopus is that it highlights and bolds the words that you're looking for, so that you can easily go to them and make sure that these articles cover what you're looking for, depending on what you're looking for. The other feature that's really nice in Scopus, when you're ready to download or to export your results to a search engine, you will click Export. However, remember to uncheck that box. Why? Because you don't want necessarily all 4,000 articles just yet. So you have to remember to uncheck that box. That way you can choose the articles you are looking for. There we go. And say we want number 2 and number 3, and anybody else that looks good. No, we don't want that one. Oh, bariatric surgery. We'll do those. Now we can choose Export. And remember, if you're to click on RIS format, I like to change this to all available information. That way you get all the bibliographic information possible. This is very necessary when it comes time to write papers and using Cite while you write. And again, it tells you that your file has been downloaded. And what's also nice about this is that you can create bibliographies. You can add to a list, you can email them and print them, of course. You can see who different articles were cited by, and then you can download the abstract or the full text depending on availability. You can also analyze your results just to see where they're coming from, how they're coming, how many were in a particular year, and that kind of information. And so let's see. Scopus is running quite slow today, so just give it a few seconds. This is what analyze the results look like in the graphs. So it shows you the years and how many articles have been published in what years related to. So as you see, there was quite a bit of a peak in 2014, and in 2015 there's been quite a bit of a drop in terms of systematic reviews related to diabetes. You can also organize it by source, what journals they're coming from, if you're interested in particular journals. This will be very helpful to you when it comes to looking at your journals to see what journal you want to publish your integrated reviews in. This will be very helpful. You'll know then that, say, BMC has published 27 systematic reviews or integrated reviews or on diabetes from the beginning, from 1975 to 2015, which is key. You want to know if your journal does this. So this is the kind of information you're going to need for a different project, but I wanted to point it out here. Authors. Sometimes authors write quite a bit of articles. As you see, this person has written 23 different articles on systematic reviews and diabetes screening. You can see what universities people are publishing from. And let's see. You can also see what countries information is coming from, the types of documents that are being published, and lastly, the subject areas that they're generally found in. And of course, the largest is medicine. Okay. Now, for Scopus, to find your history, you do something a little bit different than you do in the other databases. At the bottom of the main page, unlike in PubMed, which has you go to a second page, Scopus has their history right here. You see where it says combine queries, and the example is number 1 and something else? You do actually have to put the number sign. If you don't actually put the number sign when you're combining your various queries, it will not combine a query and won't go anywhere. So remember to do that. And I believe that is all the information to be seen here, unless you're looking up stuff in particular languages. If you click on advanced search, you can see all the different ways of using different operators, but that is really advanced and not for today's video. And I believe, compare journals. If you're interested in a particular journal when it comes time to that part, and you want to compare one journal to another based on a set of criteria and various subject matter, here's where you can do it. And so Scopus does more than just set up articles. Let's see. New England Journal. New England Journal of Medicine. And that's the title. And we'll go with all subjects. And then let's put our comparison title in. And we're going to compare that to BMC Public Health. Oh, it just did that. So when you're here on the compare journals, it's only necessary to put in a subject, for instance, public health, and as you see, it found 54 different articles, and you can see how they relate or stand up to each other. When you want to see the percentage of review, you can always choose them. It does take a second. And we'll just choose these, and we'll see how they compare in terms of sites, different documents, percentage of reviews, all of that wonderful information. If you want to see nursing, you just put in nursing, and it'll give you different nursing journals in alphabetical order, and you do the same thing. And that is Scopus. So Scopus has several different features. Again, the search feature as well as the compare journal feature, which is very, very helpful. That's for today. Thank you, guys.